Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever just stopped and wondered what truly separates the people who achieve their biggest, most audacious goals from everyone else? We almost always want to credit things like, I don't know, natural talent, having endless resources, or just plain dumb luck. But when you really strip away all of those external factors and look at the absolute core foundation of achievement, a very different picture emerges. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the single most crucial element of success. We're exploring exactly how to stop letting fear hold you back and how to fundamentally reframe your entire relationship with the unknown.
Okay, let's just dive right in with the ultimate question. This is something thinkers and observers of human nature have literally debated for centuries. If we were to take every high achiever, every innovator, every trailblazer, put them all into a single room, and distill their essence down to just one unifying characteristic, what would it actually be? I mean, it's not some highly optimized morning routine, and it's definitely not a specific type of fancy education. It goes way, way deeper than any surface-level habit.
The answer is beautifully simple, yet intensely profound. They didn't let fear decide their future. Now notice the phrasing here because it's important. It doesn't say that successful people never felt fear. They absolutely felt it. In fact, here's a kind of crazy biological reality for you. Excitement and fear actually trigger the exact same physiological response in your body. You get the elevated heart rate, you get the rush of adrenaline. The only difference is the narrative your brain attaches to that feeling. High achievers felt the fear, they acknowledged it was there, and they consciously decided to move forward anyway, making absolutely sure their future was decided by their ambitions, not their apprehensions. Section 1. The voice of fear. The lies it tells us. To actually defeat fear, we first have to understand exactly how it operates inside our minds, because it isn't just some vague, fuzzy feeling, it has a voice. Fear is basically a master manipulator, and it stacks the odds against you by continuously whispering these three paralyzing lies over and over again. First, it tells you to wait. It sells you this total illusion of a perfect time in the future, when things are calmer or when the stars perfectly align. Second, it tells you you're not ready. It magnifies every single one of your flaws and minimizes your strengths, convincing you that you just need one more course or maybe one more year of experience before you can even begin. And finally, the ultimate paralyzer, you'll fail. It paints these incredibly vivid, catastrophic pictures of ruin, trying to convince you that attempting something and missing the mark is literally the worst possible fate. But here is a massive paradigm shift for you. Fear has actually destroyed far more dreams than failure ever has. Let that really sink in for a second. We spend so much of our lives absolutely terrified of failing. But failure itself, it's just an event. It's a stepping stone, it's a teacher, a necessary data point on the road to success. When you fail, you actually learn something. You gain real experience. Fear, on the other hand, prevents you from even entering the arena in the first place. By keeping you completely frozen in inaction, fear guarantees the exact outcome you're trying so hard to avoid, not reaching your potential. The true graveyard of dreams isn't populated by the people who tried and missed. It's overflowing with the ghosts of ideas that were just never acted upon. Moving right along to Section 2. The Antidote, How to Defeat Fear. So now that we've exposed the lies, the incredible thing we learn is that there is a cure, and it's 100% within your control. The moment you take action, fear immediately starts losing its power. Think about it. Fear thrives in the void of hesitation. It multiplies in those dark little spaces of overthinking and endless what-ifs. But action? Action acts like a giant spotlight. The exact second you make a move, no matter how tiny it is, the dynamic fundamentally shifts. You transition from being a passive victim of your anxieties into an active participant in your own reality. Action literally breaks the spell and grounds you firmly in the present reality of doing the work. You don't need to know every step. You only need the courage to take the first one. This is exactly where so many of us get tripped up. We mistakenly believe that before we can, say, start a new business or enter a new phase in life, we need this flawless 10-year roadmap with every single contingency mapped out. But it's honestly like driving at night. Your headlights only illuminate the next 200 feet, but you can make an entire cross-country journey that way. You don't need the whole staircase illuminated. You really only need enough courage to lift your foot and step onto that very first stair. The next step? Well, that's only going to reveal itself after you've taken the first one. Which brings us to Section 3, Building True Confidence, the Process. Now, taking that first step into the unknown requires a leap of faith, absolutely. But how do you actually become that confident person who just keeps moving forward day after day?
It's so easy to look at highly confident achievers and just assume, oh, they're just wired differently from day one. But honestly, that's a complete myth. Confidence is not a genetic lottery ticket you're just handed at birth. Confidence is something you build. It is a muscle. And just like any muscle in your body, it starts off weak and it only grows stronger through consistent, deliberate resistance and training.
So, how exactly do we build that confidence muscle? You do it through this highly tangible cycle of growth. Step one decision. You simply decide to act, despite the fear. Step two, one challenge. That decision is inevitably going to lead you face to face with an obstacle, right? A moment of friction where you actually have to test your resolve. Step three, one victory at a time. You overcome that challenge, and that victory, even if it's super small, deposits a coin into your confidence bank account. It proves to your brain that you are entirely capable of surviving the unknown. With that new victory, you're now equipped to make the next decision, face a slightly bigger challenge, and secure an even bigger victory. This is the unglamorous, brick-by-brick reality of how truly unbreakable confidence is constructed. And finally, Section 4, write your own story, the final choice. Now that you know exactly how action defeats fear and how true confidence is built over time, it all comes down to a very personal, very immediate choice. I want you to think of your life as a completely blank book. Every single day, a brand new page is being written. The real question is, who is holding the pen? If you are constantly listening to that voice that says, wait, you're not ready and you'll fail, well, then fear is holding the pen. And fear only ever writes tragedies of unfulfilled potential and regret. It is time to take the pen back. Claim the author's seat in your own life. Decide that your ambitions and your willingness to take a chance are going to be the driving narrative of your story from this moment forward. Write it yourself. The ultimate takeaway from all of the source material is bold, and honestly, it's incredibly urgent. It doesn't say start next week when things magically quiet down. It doesn't say start on the first of the month or wait for New Year's resolutions. It demands action right now. Start today. The longer you wait, the louder that voice of fear becomes. Action is the great silencer, and today is literally the only day you actually have the power to do something about it. Your future is out there right now. It exists, and it is waiting for you to claim it. But the catch is, it's not going to come to you. You have to step into it. So as you go about the rest of your day, I want to leave you with this final provocative question to chew on. If your future is waiting for you right now, what is your first step going to be? Find it. Take it. Thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we will see you next time.